For this video, since Halloween's coming up, what I figured, I'm going to take this scrap wood and we're going to do some pumpkin carving. For this build, what I'm doing is using all my 1x4 scrap that I have laying around the garage. Right now, I'm sorting them out by length and getting ready to glue them together side by side so that they become wider boards. So I'm going to head over to the joiner with these boards and get a nice good flat edge. That way they glue together nice and well so that they last for a long time that way. It's probably the only thing I'm going to focus much attention on. The rest of this project, we're going to make these things pretty rough and rustic looking because, you know, it's Halloween and Halloween decorations aren't supposed to be pretty, right? Alright, so now it's time to glue them up. With the way I'm gluing them up here, it looks like I'm gluing them all together at one time, but that's not what's going on. There's only glue between every other board. I do it this way, that way I don't have to use nearly as many clamps to do this, because clamps are not very cheap. If you're diving into woodworking at all, I'm pretty sure you've got that figured out by now, though. Don't need me to tell you. But here you see me using my glue brush to put on a liberal amount of glue. That way I get everything between them boards coated and saturated for sure. Okay, so here is our freshly glued up panels. Got a little bit of glue to squeeze out on the bottoms, but I'm not going to worry about that at all. With the Halloween spirit, I'm going to make these things as rustic looking as possible and just cut them up, slap them together, and then we'll carve our pumpkins. One question now, am I the only one that does a test fit as I cut the pieces out? Because I feel like I'm the only one that sits there and lines them all up to see if everything fits right the way I envisioned it. Let me know in the comments below if you do the same thing. Alright, so what you might see here is that I do not have a big enough piece to go on the bottom. So, no worry, I have plenty of scrap plywood that'll go right underneath there. Alright, so I got the pieces cut out for my boxes. I'm going for two totally different styles here. We're going tall and skinny, short and fat. Now before I go tacking them and gluing them together, I'm going to cut my pumpkins in the front. So yeah, let's get that started. Alright, so this is where you get to practice your artistic ability and draw faces on these things. Alright. So from here I'm going to drill out some pilot holes in both eyes and the mouth. That way I can stick my blade in there and get it started. Okay, so let's put this thing together. Now you'll notice that whenever I go to shoot this nail gun, I try to get all my fingers immediately out of the way. Because you never know which way that nail is going to pitch in that wood. Ends up coming out the side. And I prefer to not have any nails inside my fingers. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to put a stop back there so that when the lid comes up, it stops. Alright, now it's time to put together the next one. Same thing, keep your fingers back and have fun filling it full of nails. That is why you keep your fingers back, so you never know when they'll just decide to take a left turn and just kick right out of there. Good thing this is a rough project, so that just went to the outside. So I'm just going to rip that out with a pair of pliers and move on. Give it a thumbs up for a moment of progress. Just like the rest of this project, the paint job is going to be rough as well. I'm going over with a real thin coat first, and then I'm going to follow it up with a second coat where I purposely put paint runs here and there. And yeah, just rough it up a good bit. If you are building these, that's your choice. If you'd like to make them nice and pretty, feel free to change up some of this process to fit your needs. So what I'm doing here is I'm shooting a couple nails through the back and then one through the side to bend over into hooks, because I'm going to hang some lights in there, and I don't want them all to just sit in the bottom. I want them to hang at different levels throughout the box. So I'm putting some hooks in there to help get them where I need them. Alright, that's it for this build. That was a fun project. I really enjoyed doing it. If you enjoyed this project, please do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. That way it lets you know the next time I post a video. Till next time, make something awesome.